Episode 5, Pod Caviar. This is Not Having It or Tony. And this is, man, we made it to episode 5. This is amazing. We have a great episode coming up. And we got some very, I guess, kind of funny, important, weird things to talk about. But first of all, let me start by saying if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, I think, still. And those are the three main platforms that you can find us on right now. We're working on other platforms, but for right now, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. Also, for those who are listening, I have set up a phone number for the podcast. So if you want to call up and have a question asked, or not question asked, but answered, ask a question or just have something that you want to get off your chest or something that you want to say, you can call me at 443-747-1417. That is 443-747-1417. Yes. I guess depending on how many calls I get, I can answer some calls after or during every episode. You don't have to put your name on there if you don't want your name to be put on there. If you just want something that you want to say, or you want me to speak on it or whatever, just let me know. And that is 443-747-1417. Right. Let's get into this episode because there are some things that I want to talk about. First and foremost, pretty funny. Not pretty funny for Joel Santana, but still. The rapper known as Joel Santana, who was caught at a New York airport. Not New York. What is it? New Jersey? Was it New York? Hold on. Yeah, a New York airport. All right. This article says he left 2 bags and also his ID behind when he left Terminal C security checkpoint at the New York airport and ducked out and exit Friday night. A law enforcement source who spoke on condition of anonymity said. Basically, he got caught with a gun in his bag trying to go through security. The TSA tried to apprehend him and he left. The last update that I had said that he's going to surrender Sunday morning. Listen, this man has prior charges, and even if he didn't, that's pretty serious. It was just a Derringer, which is like a 2-shot little pistol thing. It's really weird and small, but at the same time, a gun is a gun. And if you're like me, you follow the TSA on Instagram, and they have a lot of posts that show what they have found in people's bags. Now, I haven't checked on that in a couple of days. I'm looking right now. I don't see them talking about Joel Santana. But at the same time, there are plenty of guns and people who try to hide knives and guns. I'm looking at a post right now. It says, looks like somebody put their iron supplement, in quotes, in the wrong vitamin bottle. Packing like this can really cut into the time it takes to get to the gate. Basically, somebody put a knife into a vitamin bottle and they got caught. It says, this knife in the vitamin bottle was discovered in a carry-on bag at the George Bush International Airport. Knives are always prohibited in the cabin of the aircraft, but may be packed in checked baggage. Basically, if you want to bring a gun or a knife or whatever, it has to be checked in the baggage. You can't bring it on a carry-on for obvious reasons. 9/11, duh. Let's see. This other post, which is more relevant to the story, TSA officers discovered 62 firearms last week in carry-on bags around the nation. Of the 62 firearms discovered, 55 were loaded and 20 had a round chambered. While firearms are prohibited in carry-on bags, okay, you can pack them. Oh yeah, it says prohibited. So while firearms are prohibited in carry-on bags, you can pack them in your checked baggage as long as you meet the packing guidelines at tsa.gov. So, Mr. Joel Santana, I don't know. It seems like it was just a mistake. I don't think he was going to try to hijack a plane or do anything bad or anything. I mean, it's illegal. Yeah, he did something illegal, but I doubt if it was on purpose. It was just an oversight, a grave oversight, like a very bad oversight. And he's going to have to pay the price for that. So I guess the next episode, we're going to update of it and we'll figure out what, wow, okay. Somebody had a pink plastic dinosaur-shaped grenade. Wow. And it's not carry-on. It is not permitted in carry-on or checked baggage. Okay. As always. As it should, you know. But yeah, it's weird, man. So if you're on Instagram, just look at TSA. You can look at the TSA, look them up, and they have all sorts of things that people try to bring on airplanes, and it's weird, man. It is so weird. What is that, a fucking harpoon? Wow, somebody tried to take a harpoon. What is it? I don't know. Spear guns might be allowed in the cabin of a boat, but they are not permitted in the cabin of a commercial aircraft for obvious reasons. Wow. Okay. This is weird, man. It's pretty cool to look through this stuff because they just don't want. Hey, you can bring a your, hold on, let me see. Your cheese graters are allowed to be in carry-ons. So if you got a cheese grater, if you just need to grate some cheese while you're fucking flying from wherever the hell, then you can do that, you know. Oh boy. Okay. All right. That's weird. But anyway, yeah. Joel Santana caught. He fled. Actually, it says it's a 38 caliber Derringer pistol, and after they tried to, I guess they tried to apprehend him, and he left. He left his bag, his ID. He got in a taxi cab and he left, and they still looking for him. He's still free for now, but like I said, he's going to, surrender himself Sunday morning and face the consequences. So now, let's move on. What else do we have? I did the phone number, 443-747-1417. Call whenever, you know. How much time? Let's see. This past week has been pretty up and down. This is the part of the year here in Georgia where the weather is just... it is very bipolar, so to speak. So this week it was pretty chilly. Last week it was warm, or 2 weeks ago it was warm. And with daylight savings time coming back, it looks like... What the hell are you doing, Snippy? Sit down. Damn dog. Sit down. It looks like it's going to be back to pretty warm. Listen, I don't like winter at all. And I know a lot of people say, oh, you're from up north, you should be used to it. You should be used to it. Yes, I'm used to it. But just because I'm used to something doesn't mean I like it. You know, I'm used to driving the speed limit. That doesn't mean I don't want to speed or I don't want to race around town. It's just, don't just equate me being from up north with me being happy that it's cold. I don't understand people that like when it's cold. I know some people that like when it's freezing outside. They enjoy that shit. And I'm just like, no, I want to go inside. So the next week is looking pretty good. It's going to start off pretty shitty. Tomorrow is going to rain. Monday is going to be kind of chilly. And then it's going to, well, no, fuck. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's going to be 66, 56, 61, 54, 64, 72, 75, and then 80 and 80. So... But the lows are 53, 36, 34, 30, 39, 47, 58, 60, and 57. It's all over the place. This is that time of year where it's like, you know, what are you going to wear? Which is, okay, whatever. I would much rather have a consistent 75-degree temperature during the day all year round. Where can I move to where I can have that type of weather? Where I don't have to worry about freezing temperatures. I don't have to worry about being chilly. Unless I'm inside and the AC is blaring. Okay? I need to find a place like that. And I need to move there. It's probably somewhere in Florida. It's got to be somewhere in Florida. Do I necessarily want to live in Florida? Maybe not. I don't know. But because of weather, I probably will. I like being warm. Fuck it. I mean, I don't care, you know? I like being warm. I don't care. Whatever. And this is where, wow, we're flying through this shit. The thing about these podcasts is that, man, you can like have a nice structured thing and then you can go off on a tangent and then you can just absolutely waste a lot of time on one thing. Like, there's been plenty of times when I had a whole list of shit that I wanted to talk about, and then I never got to talk about it, and then the next week it's not even relevant anymore, so I never get to talk about it. So it's you don't know what you're gonna get until you hit record. One of those things. I have a plan on what I want to talk about, and in this episode 5, it's pretty cool because everything is moving, flowing, and it's going according to plan. But I just like the fact that I'm able to be here, and I have people that come up to me and say, hey man, I love your show, and it's funny, and keep doing what you're doing, and everything is working fine. And there's a lot of support, like I said, in all the episodes. Like I really appreciate that, and I want to thank everybody that has given me support. And I'm not gonna stop. I will continue to evolve, and the audience will continue to grow, and most of the time it's just going to be me. So I'm not going to say it's hard to find stuff to talk about when it's just me, because I've been doing it for so long, especially in Game Caviar, where it's just me talking about gaming news and videos and making videos and all that stuff, and that's cool. But this is something that I've been waiting to do for a while, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to do it right now. And I'm paying for this, so of course I'm gonna keep doing it. You know, and like when you pay for something, and with me, I don't give a damn how much I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. That gives me a nice incentive to. It's like work. You ever heard people say, why do you continue to work? That it's because they pay me. It supports my lifestyle. You know. How many people do you know actually enjoy their job and actually like going to work every day and dealing with anything that happens during work? How many people do you know enjoy work every day, 100% of the time? How many? It's not that many people. Not that many people. But being paid, especially if you have a job that pays well and you get good benefits, that helps. And you can just be that person that, I mean, and that translates to this. I'm not getting paid by these podcasts. Hopefully in the future I will, but I am paying to have these podcasts broadcast to the world. So if my money is on the line, then yes, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that it is going to be successful and that it continues and that it's going to keep going on. But yeah, that's just a little break from what I had to talk about. Now I digressed a little bit, but that's fine. Let's see. What do I have next? Who is this? I'm still on fucking Instagram. Let me get off this. All right. What's next? I talked about Joel Santana. I talked about the weather. I talked about the phone number, 443-747-1417. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This is really good. Okay. There has been, for the past couple of weeks, it's a story that I've been keeping an eye on. A CDC employee from Atlanta. Well, is he from Atlanta? I don't know. But he worked at the CDC in Atlanta. His name is, what is it? Oh, look at this. Cunningham. Timothy Cunningham? Is that his name? Anyway, this guy worked at the CDC. Apparently he got passed over for a promotion, and then he called out sick, and then he has vanished. According to the Washington Post, they said he mysteriously vanished. Nobody knows where this guy is. Basically, this guy's 35. He lived by himself. He had a dog. He left his dog. He left all his possessions. He left his car and everything. And these guys just gone. And it's really weird. There are a lot of possibilities as to what happened to him. Hopefully he's not dead or something sinister. I don't know what's going on here, but there are a lot of conspiracies as to why he would just do that. According to this article, it says investigators are bewildered as they work through the extremely unusual circumstances surrounding the missing person case of Timothy Cunningham, a researcher who vanished February 12th, shortly after hearing why he had been passed over for a promotion at the CDC. He said Cunningham told colleagues he was not feeling well and left the CDC headquarters in Atlanta not long after speaking with his supervisor about why he had not been promoted. Okay, so he didn't get promoted and he got pissed off and dipped. Okay. All right, that's reasonable, so to speak. You know, if you don't get promoted and you feel that you should have got the promotion, maybe that'll make you a little sick. Maybe you're sick of the shit. Let's see. Cunningham had spoke to his sister by phone before arriving at work that day and then called his mother at 9:12 a.m., presumably on his way home, O'Connor said. His mother did not pick up, and Cunningham did not leave a voicemail. And that was the last time the guy made known contact with anybody. They said they searched the woods behind his house, or nearby woods with dogs. They checked hospitals, jails. They looked at cell phone records. Looked in cemeteries, and even they flew over the area with a helicopter looking for signs of life or worse. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So they didn't have to put that, but yeah, they were just looking for him with a helicopter over the immediate area. Thank you, Washington Post, for being so fucking grim. They said they don't suspect foul play though, but they have not ruled it out. So it's 50-50 at this time. There is a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest just in case. Wow. Oh boy. Let's see. According to his GoFundMe page, Tim is a very loving, brilliant, and responsible young man. Therefore, his sudden disappearance is highly irregular and very much out of character for him. His friends, family, and colleagues are desperately searching for him. We are launching this fundraising campaign to collect funds that will be used to establish a reward for information that will help locate Tim. And it just goes on and on and on. And I guess they just go back and go over the timeline. And it says that this incident has taken bizarre turns. Cunningham's neighbor, Viviana Torrey, reported an odd encounter between her husband and Cunningham the day before he disappeared. She goes on to say, he told my husband to tell his wife, me, to erase his cell phone number from my cell phone. Okay. O'Connor confirmed the claim and told reporters he would follow up, but he had few details about this significance. Police spokesman D.T. Hanna told the Post that no further information was available on Wednesday. Wow, this is weird. This is a weird case because people disappear. Mostly kids. Kids get kidnapped. Kids disappear. Most of the time when people disappear, it's like they're hiking or they're climbing a mountain or doing something outside of the usual. But this guy he didn't get his promotion. And he said he wasn't feeling good. He tried to contact his family. He went home and then, he left work and, I guess he did end up going home and then that was it. In 2018, if you're in Atlanta, a major city in a major area, it is very hard for you to just disappear, I would think. But apparently this guy is definitely pulling it off. I wonder if he's still like hiding in the house. What if he's in the house and they did? What if he had a place in his house and nobody knew about it and he's still there? That might be it. That might be it. I don't know. Cunningham's father, Terrell, told the New York Times that he had concerns about recent interactions with his son, whom he described as focused on a host of professional and personal issues. The tone of numerous exchanges gave us reason to be concerned about Tim, he said. And I don't know if it's an instinct you have because it's your child, but it was not a normal conversation, and I was not comfortable. Cunningham's parents were notified by police about 4 bodies found in a search, only to be told later that none of them belonged to their son. Wow, that right there. If my son, I have 2 sons, if one of them are missing, do not tell me about any missing found bodies that were not my son. I don't want to hear that because from this, it seems like the cops were like, hey man, we found a body. And then like hours later, they're like, it's not him. Do you understand, anybody who has a loved one or anything like that, you have to understand how much of a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster that is. and they had to go through that 4 times. They were notified by police about 4 bodies found in the search, only to be told later that none of them belonged to their son. And even on the other side of that, if there were 4 bodies that were found, 4 bodies, who were these other 4 people? Were they reported as missing? Is this something that's going on in Atlanta where people are missing or getting snatched up by some sort of serial killer or some group of people that's going on? Is this some sort of organ hunting or harvesting underground situation that's going on? What in the world is going on here? This is weird. Were those 4 bodies known? Were people already looking for these people? Were they like homeless people? I don't get it. Where do you just find 4 bodies where you're looking for one person and you end up finding 4 other people that aren't this person? So many questions. It says Tim Cunningham has been a prominent fixture in the Atlanta community. In an Atlanta Business Chronicle 40 Under 40 Awards profile last year, Cunningham said he was using the skills I have to improve and help the lives of others, referring to his work at the CDC. Dr. Cunningham's County. So he was a, let's see. They got his, what is his title? CDC researcher, but they had an official title for him. Cunningham, blah, 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 research in Atlanta, he was a CDC how do you say this? Epidemiologist? Wow, how do you say that? That's a long ass word. They have public health professionals who investigate patterns and causes of disease and injury to humans. They seek to reduce the risk and occurrence of negative health outcomes through research, community education, and health policy. So it looks like this guy was just doing research on, whatever the fuck. And he was up for promotion. He didn't get that promotion. And he said, fuck it. I'm done with people in general and I'm out. Out of here. Fuck them. Fuck everything. Fuck civilization. And I'm gone. It's just a weird thing. And I think that the reason why it got my attention is because people were making it seem like this is how in movies, this is how like zombie movies start, where like a CDC researcher or something goes missing and then it's playing in like the background, and then things like that, like it's just weird. They think that he was some whistleblower for the flu, and then he was going to like release something that said that the government is in charge of or behind the reason why the flu and has been so strong this year or whatever. And I don't really think that's the case, and I'm not even gonna say of course anything is possible, but is it probable? No. It just seems like this guy just wanted to get away and got away and stayed away. This isn't like the Montauk project where the government was doing a series of psychological warfare experiments, and then they opened up like time portals, and then they were talking to aliens and whatnot. See, there's things like that. See, this is what happens. Like, even with this story about Timothy Cunningham, what people come up with are out there. They're very strange, and the more it gets told, the more that people hear that he was in the CDC and then he felt bad, he felt sick, and then he left early. People automatically assume that maybe he was dealing with doing experiments on some pathogen or something, and he got infected by it, and then it's going to spread. And I doubt that's the case, because it looks like he just did research, and it didn't look like he was like actively doing experiments with diseases or whatever. But I don't know. That's weird. I'm going to keep an eye on this, and then if I get an update for it, I'll update it in further episodes going down the podcast. But This is one of the things that I said, like I just brought up, the Montauk Project is something that I guess happened back in the day, but it's one of those secret projects where there's not a lot of solid evidence. There's just a lot of people who claim to have been a part of it, and this is what happened. And then even then, it's like, okay, there are people that said, "Oh, I was a part of this. Yeah, this is what happened. Blah 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 blah." It was psychological warfare, and then somebody would come up there and be like, "Yeah, I can lift weights with my mind, and then I can make stuff materialize out of nowhere, and then people can. It was under mind control, and they were trying to make Manchurian candidates, which is like, you know, somebody who gets programmed to do something, and then you hear like a phrase or like something like that, and then you ended up, and it's like you basically get your mind rewired, and then you have a mission. Most of the time, it is like an assassination mission and stuff. Like, it was a movie that made about it, and then it was a remake with Denzel Washington that was made. Those things, are those things real? I think that the military or the government, and along with the military, did things like that, but I don't think they were as crazy as people make them seem. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't, who knows. But as far as the Montauk Project, it says, I found this what is it, this page online with information. It says the Montauk Project was an alleged series of secret United States government projects conducted at Camp Hero or Montauk Air Force Base on Montauk, Long Island, for the purpose of developing psychological warfare techniques and exotic research, including time travel. It goes on to say Jacques Vallée describes allegations of the Montauk Project as an outgrowth of stories about the Philadelphia experiment. If you don't know about the Philadelphia experiment, that was an experiment that had alleged the government had made a U.S. naval destroyer, I think, disappear, go invisible. But what happened was, it wasn't invisible. It actually went through dimensions, and then when it came back, the sailors were all screwed up, and like some of them were fused into the hull, kind of like the Cloverfield paradox, the movie that just came out Super Bowl Sunday on Netflix, things like that. I would look into the Montauk experiment or Montauk Project, because it gets really deep and really crazy. Here's a funny tidbit about this. Stranger Things, the very popular Netflix show, is rumored to be based off of the Montauk Project, where the Upside Down was something that really happened. And then the reason why the project was shut down is because a former subject of the project came back, and he manifested a monster that was like going through and like destroying things. And the whole base where the Montauk Project was taken, where it took place, was underground, so they had to evacuate, and whoever got out, and then they flooded the whole thing, all the whole base and all the tunnels underground with cement. There's rumored to be, if you go out there certain times during the day, you can still hear screams and things like that. All rumors, no substantial evidence or anything about this. There was a video on YouTube where they said that it started off as just this and then that, and then the thing about these conspiracy theories is that they don't have a limit. They always, it's like you get a bunch of guys in a room. You ever have those guys that want to one up you or one up somebody else? That's the thing about these conspiracy theories, especially when they deal with anything really. I mean, they're infinite. They keep going, and then after a while, it just gets so outlandish to where you're like, what? The video that I saw on YouTube was, it started off as Montauk Project, psychological warfare, and then it went to lifting things, and then manifesting things, as I said before, and then it was time travel, and then it was like a warp hole, a time tunnel, and then aliens got involved, and then they were lizard people, and then they were Nazis, and then they were like future Nazis, and then they were I forgot the other people, but then they like the aliens and the super Nazis and the future Nazis, they were all part of the NWO. But then in current times, the new, like the Illuminati was like, you know, taking care of things now. But then some of the aliens were doing their own thing. And then people were like, the aliens needed women and humans to do experiments with. And then it was like, okay. All right. All right. Maybe they took Timothy Cunningham. Maybe they just needed him for some research or something. Maybe that's what it is. It's kind of weird. It's very okay. Here. Oh, look at this. Various conspiracy theories claim that experiments began in earnest in the early 1980s. They claim that during this time, some or all of the following occurred at the site. No evidence has ever been provided that any of the following is true. See, this is what I tell you about conspiracy theories. I just said this. The facility was expanded to as many as 12 levels and several hundred workers. Some reports have the facility extending under the town of Montauk itself. Homeless people and orphans were abducted and subjected to huge amounts of electromagnetic radiation to test mind control technology and remove brain programming. Few survived. People had their psychic abilities enhanced to the point that they could materialize objects out of thin air, like I said before. And then it goes on to say Stuart Swerdlow claims to have been involved in the Montauk project, and as a result says his psionic faculties were boosted, but at the cost of emotional instability, post-traumatic stress disorder, and other issues. An alien supposedly designed a chair which an individual could sit in to boost his mental and perceptuary powers. A prototype duplicate was given to England and it was put in a facility in the Thames River. Okay. Teleportation experiments were conducted. A porthole in time was created. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. The time tunnel allowed researchers to travel anywhere in time or space. This was developed into a stable time tunnel. Underground tunnels were with abandoned cultural archives were explored on Mars using this technique. Really? So here's the thing. If this was back in the early 1980s, if they had a time tunnel where they can go to any point in time, why did we still have to deal with VCRs? Why did we still have to deal with big dumb ass VCRs? Why did I still have to deal with televisions that still had analog signals? You would think that if I had a time portal and I could go to any time, I would just be like, let me go to 100 years in the future. Do you think that, listen, between, 1980, they can go 20 years in the future and technology would be completely different. They had a time tunnel supposedly to go to any time, but they didn't bring back any technology. They didn't advance technology to the point to where we could have had the things that we have now back in the 80s. I understand that. And you know what? It's not even that, because I was going to say that I know it would be harder to do it in the 80s, but then if you knew how to do it, I think it's because we didn't know how to make that shit. Like, we didn't know how to have like skinny ass laptop MacBook Airs and solid state drives and Blu-ray players and PlayStation 4s and shit. This is where a lot of conspiracies fall apart when you throw logic at them, you know? It goes on to say contact was made with alien extraterrestrials through the time tunnel and technology was exchanged with them, which enhanced the project. So I guess, okay, so they got aliens. They got in contact with aliens, and aliens were like, welcome. We will give you technology to enhance just this project. Nothing else will be enhanced. Just the project. Here you are. This is the same thing that goes along with the Mandela effect, where people think that because of the experiments of the Hadron Collider, that somehow we have been transferred, or we were sent to an alternate dimension without our knowledge. But the only things that were affected were pop culture references. The Mandela effect is called so because a lot of people thought that Nelson Mandela had died in prison a long time ago, when in fact he didn't. And it also goes on to say that a lot of people say that in Star Wars is Luke, I am your father, and he never said that. And then you got the Bernstein Bears, and then like some other shit, and it's just like, dude, no, get the fuck, like, you're not gonna just go to a different dimension, and then the only thing that changes are these little these culture references. Like, I don't believe that shit. I've said it plenty of times before. It just doesn't make sense, and this doesn't make sense either. We went to the future and got in touch with aliens. The only thing that they gave us technology for was what's for this experiment that they had to shut down, but they couldn't give us Blu-ray players and shit like that. So I had to walk around with a big ass Discman in my back pocket that had 8 AA batteries. I had to have a Sega Game Gear, which was a handheld video game system that had 8 fucking AA batteries that lasted all of maybe 30-45 minutes. It was cool, but at the same time, it's like, well, pretty sure I kind of wish those aliens had advanced that shit. But let's see. It says, on or about August 12, 1983, the time travel project at Camp Hero interlocked in hyperspace with the original Rainbow Project back in 1943. The USS Eldridge was drawn into hyperspace, and yeah, fuck this. No, I'm not reading this anymore. No. Flying saucers were observing the Philadelphia experiments, and no, they weren't. No, they fucking weren't. Professional wrestler Rob Van Dam claims to have accidentally stumbled upon the area while driving to an area. During 1 hour's time, he went into the time tunnel and claimed to have met Nikola Tesla, who told him that he was going to return in 2007 to end it all. And what? What was he gonna end, Rob Van Dam? Come on, it's 2018, dude. The site was open to the public on September 18, 2002 as Camp Hero State Park. The radar tower has been placed on the state and national register of historic places. There are plans for a museum and interpretive center focusing on World War II and Cold War era history. Despite rumors, no traces of secret underground facilities have been found, although on the grounds of Camp Hero, there is still a hill with concrete sealed doors. Okay, cool. And then it goes on, and then you got a group of people who look like they're full of shit. Every single last one of them. This video of this guy, he looks like he's full of shit. There's just this long-ass write-up of everything. Boy. Montauk sent us back and we smashed the equipment with axes. The ship returned to its original point in space. And yeah, fuck this. No. Anyway, so if you want to read up on this, the Montauk Project, it is spelled Montauk Project. You can go in and you can dive down this rabbit hole. I have done it, and I think that it's full of shit. Listen, okay, I don't think this 100% full of shit. Some of this obviously happened. I do believe that the government and the military were involved in psychological warfare experiments, but I don't think Rob Van Dam had anything to do with it, and I damn well sure don't think that they sent a fucking wait, hold on, hold on. Nikola Tesla, whose death was faked in a conspiracy, was the chief of director operations at the base. Mass psychological experiments, such as the use of enormous subliminal messages projects and the creation of a Men in Black Corps to confuse and frighten the public, were invented there. Fuck this whole story. I'm kind of glad I didn't read this shit before I started recording, because I would not have said anything about this. But, as I said, I'm just as surprised as you are. If you're listening to this, I am just as surprised as you are. So, this is hilarious to me. I like this shit. It is interesting. It definitely gave me something to talk about. And it's really, and at the same time, maybe all this shit is true, but they just put enough information out there to make most of the people who read it say, just as I did, oh, fuck no, this is fake as shit. Like I said, according to me and my point of view is that the United States military and the United States government were involved in projects and experiments that had to do with psychological warfare. That's the end of the story. That's it. Did it work? Maybe. Maybe not. Who the fuck knows? But I'm pretty sure that Nikola Tesla was not the fucking the what was he supposed to, the chief director of operations at the base, and Rob Van Dam definitely did not have anything to do with this. Aliens did not give them technology to advance the projects without giving us Blu-ray players. And you know, it's just whatever. But yeah, Stranger Things kind of well, not kind of, but it seems that, or it's been reported that they took some inspiration from this story, this sensationalized story, which is fine because I like Stranger Things. It's pretty cool. And yeah, that's it. So that's it. And that, wow, excuse me, that's the end of the damn episode. I am not having it. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, because I will be doing episodes just like this, and I think I should do a conspiracy story or theory or something like this every episode, pretty much. I thought about this. I thought about doing this before because I read about this briefly a while ago, and I knew about the Philadelphia experiment years ago. And when it happened, it was like, what was it? When I read about it, it was just like the military did this experiment and they made this destroyer disappear, and I was like, oh, that sounds like something the government would fund. Fuck it, why not? Who wouldn't want to have? I mean, we have stealth aircraft, stealth bombers, so why would you want to make ships not only stealth but just literally invisible? But now that I've read that it apparently went through time and space and all this other shit, I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe they should. Oh yeah, the video said that the United States government pulled the plug on the project, but it was funded privately with billions of dollars of Nazi gold from future Nazis. Okay, yeah. Maybe not from future Nazis, but it was Nazi gold that somebody just had hanging out. They just had some Nazi gold and was like, here, keep that experiment going. Go ahead and see what you do. Maybe I won't do. Yeah, I don't know. I guess every now and again, I will go down the rabbit hole. We will call these rabbit hole episodes, and we will make it a nice event, and it will be something that we can all enjoy. This will be number one of rabbit hole episodes, and you know what? If you have a conspiracy or something that you want me to talk about, or you have anything else that you want to talk about, please feel free to give me a call at 443-747-1417, and I will go ahead and I will listen to it, and I will play it on air, and then we'll go from there. Ha, look at that. But this has been Pod Caviar episode 5. This has been Tony. And thank you for listening. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. And I will greatly appreciate this because, like I said earlier, I'm not going anywhere. I'm paying for this, so I'm just going to keep going. And this was a very good episode. I thought this episode was going to be shit at first because I was like, fuck, man, I don't know. But hey, it came together really nice, and I'm happy for that. So let me go ahead and edit this up, and then I'll upload it, and then we'll go from there. And let me know what you think about it. All right. I'm out of here. I got shit to do. I'm out. Peace.